Right.
And the reason why we might not want to do one at a time is because it's us doing one at a time.
Go team.
Go team.
Hey, Stacy, Cody, Virginia, Lexi, Kyle, Raphael, Maureen, Mark. Hey. Angela and I are really excited about this today. Really glad that you can join us. We're going to give it 2 more minutes and let everybody join. Hey, Jesse. Angela, how are you today? How's everything going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thankful we have the opportunity to talk about things that we really need to talk about.
I know, and we already got to talk to a couple of guests already and record 2 podcasts, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It was
And
awesome.
I know, we can't wait to release those.
Alicia Huey and a couple folks from Procore. We got to interview those folks today on the podcast. Really excited about the future of our industry. We're seeing some big changes, and obviously, I never think it's fast enough, but it's been really fun to watch folks really caring about where our industry's going and how it's getting there.
Oh yeah. Well, and you mentioned the thing about ABC that I had no idea. Share that real quick.
Oh yeah, the IDE.
Yeah, since 1950. Did I get that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So Associated Builders and Contractors has a mission and vision statement that literally goes back to 1950 that fits every inclusion, diversity, and equity topic that you could imagine. It was a great lesson we learned in DC yesterday. It's great. It fits their Article 1 perfectly. So it's funny that in 1950s we all had it right and then we messed some things up evidently along the way. Now
Well,
we got to get back to the real, right?
progress comes changes, and mm, everything has to happen differently. And
Yeah.
the path is never straight, right?
It isn't. No, it isn't straight. And
It's a
I'm glad
roller
my path
coaster.
wasn't straight or I'd be in a boring job right now. So
Oh
welcome
yeah.
everybody. It is 1:30. Welcome to Women Talk Construction's first audio event. We are really excited to hear what you have to say and to talk to some of our guests about what women need and want at work. We would love to hear if you've already been thinking about this, it's been out for a while. Our little invite's been out for a while. If you've already been thinking about what men and women need at work, because I know that it's not just women, but today we really want to focus on what women need and want at work. So we're going to pull up a few people at a time, maybe just one at a time, so that we can hear what you have to say. And we'll be watching to see who's raising their hands, and we want your input too. We're not the experts. We're just the platform creating a space for
Exactly.
all of us to be friends and be able to collaborate. So, who's got a question first? Who's got something they want to share with what women need and want at work? Or did I miss something, Angela? Should we be doing some more housekeeping rules?
Guess who has a question first?
Jesse, hold on, bringing him up.
Um, yeah, well, what we want to do is if we end up bringing up more people than just one, we want to make sure you mute your mic and just let the one person speak. But we want to try and get as many people as we can on the stage to share with us. And we do have some extra questions, that we might ask and just get your feedback on. like what kind of support do you need to succeed in your role, or how does the company culture impact your work experience, or what kind of opportunities for growth and development are important to you. So these are the type of things that we're kind of wanting to hear from you. And like I said, we want to get as many people as we can because y'all are the ones doing this every day in and day out. And Christy and I love to get feedback from everyone. So let's get this started.
All right, Jesse.
Good morning, good afternoon, all of the above. I want to make a comment and then I'm going to ask a question just to kind of start a fire here.
Okay.
The comment I want to make is just recognition of your courage, appreciation for the humongous steps the two of y'all have taken in getting beyond your discomforts to represent an audience, a huge member of our industry that has largely been underrepresented. So y'all, I aspire to be as brave as the two of you and everyone else that even takes the step to come up on stage. So thank you for setting the example. And that leads to my question, because hopefully you're starting a fire for other folks that are here to create their own event and get their message out, and etc. And so my question is this: how do you get beyond the fear of being judged, of being ridiculed, and having your ideas poo-pooed on? That's my question.
Nice question, Jesse. So I want to see if anybody in the audience has an answer for that before Angela and I answer, unless, Angela, you're really feeling inspired to answer that question.
Well, I mean, I'd like to hear from the audience. I have my own answer, but I want to hear what they have to say. And by the way, Jesse, I have major butterflies right now.
I love it. I love it. Yes.
I do too. All right, nobody's raising their hand. Virginia, do you want to share that? I think you've got a lot of expertise, and you talked a lot about. There's
Natasha.
We got Natasha now. We'd love to hear what Virginia has to say too, though.
Oh yeah.
Here comes Natasha. Well.
Well, we can go on ahead and say, while we're pulling them up, I'll say what I was going to say.
Okay,
is that
great.
You never know. Like, it never gets easy, right?
Yeah.
It's just like that roller coaster. I mean, you hit bumps, but you just keep going. Perseverance, just go for it. Now, you might have a different response, Christy, but that's mine.
Oh, so we got a lot of people raising their hand now. Virginia's up. Virginia, you're next. Yes. Virginia, tell us. You'll have to unmute yourself if you don't see that button. It should be at the bottom of your screen. I don't know where Natasha went. We can't hear from Virginia. Virginia, are you on? All right, Jesse, repeat the question one more time just so everybody's familiar.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I did not know how to unmute.
Okay. Thank you
for my technical difficulties. And hey, everybody, and thank you guys for putting this together for us.
You're welcome.
Hey, so I don't know that you ever really get over the fear, Jesse. So you just do it afraid, right?
Nice.
You just go. So yeah, you never really. I'm always nervous when I get in front of people. I'm always nervous when I have to present my company. I'm always nervous when I have to be in the middle of a discussion where everybody is supposed to be listening to me as the expert. So I just always kind of rely on my faith that that God's there with me. But the other thing you do to get over your fear is you just be prepared, right? Make sure you know your industry. Make sure you know your customer. Make sure you kind of do your homework so you can know what you're talking about. But I don't know that we'll ever get over the fear. It'll be there, but you do it afraid.
I love that. Thank you, Virginia. We've got a couple other.
I love that.
I do too. I love that. And I'm doing it afraid right now. So I can relate. All right. I hope I'm saying this right. Yarith Fernandez?
That's right.
Tell
It is
us.
Fernandez.
Hi.
Hi, guys. So I own not a post construction, a construction cleaning company. And my husband is in the flooring business. So he kind of brought me into the construction industry. And at first, I was a little scared to walk into job sites, and present my services. But from the get go, I was always really confident. And, I was just really, how do I put this? I really wanted it, really persistent. So I just got familiar with the construction lingo just by watching my husband go to job sites and talk to, superintendents or project managers. And I learned that first. I would just stay quiet and be behind him and listen. And then he would let me talk and be like, oh, this is my wife. She does cleaning. And so I would just say being confident and being persistent, learning your business and the lingo in the industry, and having thick skin for it. Because I mean, I've had times where people have chewed me out for stuff that we did wrong, and you just have to have thick skin for that, and just know that we're humans and we make mistakes, and we have to learn from them. If we don't make mistakes, we're not going to learn. So I think that would be my advice. Just stay confident.
I feel like if I'm not failing, I'm not learning. Do you feel that way too?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's probably part of the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Who else
Yeah,
do
I
we
think we
have?
have some more guests. I think Natasha wants to try and come back up.
Yeah, I did
And then
try.
there's
I keep
couple
adding
more.
her and Shania. And
Yeah, she's actually in the modular section.
all right, oh really? Cool.
Construction. Yes, she knows Audrey.
Okay, looks like Christina came up. So she's
Oh, cool.
I'm having trouble. Some of these folks, when I allow them to speak, it's just not showing up. So I apologize. There must be something going on there. But Christy's up. Christy, tell us what's going on with you, and what do women need and want at work, or answer Jesse's question, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, so just making sure you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, awesome. I actually wanted to chime in on Jesse's question. And I would echo a little bit of what Virginia said, is you just do it with fear. The fear doesn't go away when you're presenting an idea, especially if you're presenting something that's, is new or innovative in a company or in a setting. That fear will always be there, but there are ways to push it down or suppress it in the moment. And one of the tactics that I typically use is remembering that whatever I've found passionate enough to get up and speak about is rooted in a value that I have. And if you go back to those values that you have, and whatever you're presenting is rooted in that, your confidence and your passion behind that is going to bubble up and step way in front of that fear. So that's just one of the tactics that I use when I'm, presenting something that perhaps the audience that I'm speaking to, I know that they will be adverse to. That's just one of the tactics I try to keep in my back pocket, is remembering where this idea has come from, because it's likely rooted in a value that I hold dear.
Awesome. Christy, share with us what you think women need and want at work. I want to hear that from you.
Yeah, of course. One of the things I feel like women need is the permission to be women at work, to move with emotion, and to be able to use their gut instinct coupled with information from data, but just to be able to use our intuition, that God has given us for a reason. I feel like that's just one thing that a lot of companies, I've seen women in a lot of companies be, you're thinking too emotionally, or that decision was made emotionally. Well, you're darn right. I'm an emotional creature. And whether that emotion is, sadness at something I saw, or whether it's, something's lit a fire under me and I feel like something needs to be done, just the ability to couple data and information with emotion and intuition for impactful decision making.
Nice. Thank you so much. So while we still have that's great, Christy. What great insights too. While we have Virginia and Yareth still here on stage, can Virginia tell us what you think women need and want at work? If you're still there. Or Yareth, if you're available, we'll wait for Virginia. She might have gotten sidetracked. Yareth, can you share with us what you think women need and want at work?
I think we need thicker skin. I mean, we are women, and women in construction, we cry. I cry a lot of times when, people yell at me or something goes wrong, or even from excitement when I get a really big job. I get really excited, and yeah, we are really emotional creatures, and that's what we do. We cry. Oh, well, we suck it up. We tear our tears off, and then just stand up and keep our head up. And I would say just have really thick skin for it and don't take it personally. It's just the industry that we're in. We're not supposed to be in it, but here we are. And we just have to keep pushing and stay strong.
We're
Awesome.
supposed to be in it, right, Christy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in it, but in quotations, we're not.
Yes.
Well, I know, yeah.
So what you're saying is you just.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. I have such a difficult time sometimes hearing I'm actually out. So, what do women want? It's so simple. We want the exact same thing that men want.
Yes.
A fair opportunity to sit at the table. The problem is that we don't even know a meal is being served most of the time, so we don't come to the table prepared. We need to be made aware of the same things. There's a good old boy network, right? And they hear about the jobs, they hear about what's going on long before we do. And we need that opportunity to hear the same messages. However that happens, we need to be able to hear those same messages. I find that networking is critical.
Yes.
So, but again, I just want a chance to sit at the table. I don't want you to give me anything. I just need to know that a meal is being served, so I should come and eat.
Wow. What great
like that.
insights. I do too. Just being involved, right? Just being treated as an equal. And what Yara said earlier, I just wanted to reiterate that. What she was saying is being accepted the way she is, right?
Right.
So, I hate to say it, but we got a few men on this call, but I would say there's a few times men cry too. We just don't ever see it, right? And the fact that we accept it, the fact that we need to accept that that's okay because everybody's different is wonderful.
And guys, next month is Mental Awareness Month, Men's Mental Awareness Month. I heard this at an association meeting, and they were just saying, hey, men have emotions, men have mental issues too, so just bringing it up. Yes, men cry too, and we need to support them. So check in on all your male counterparts in the industry. Make sure they're doing well.
I love it. Thank you so much. So we have somebody new up. Let's hear from Giselle. Giselle, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Glad you're here.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. So I've got a couple things. One thing is a tool that I've read from a book, and the book is called Unlocking Your Authentic Self by Jennifer Hunt. And I'm pretty sure this tool came from the book. If not, it's still a really good book. But it's the concept of a protractor. So if you are going into a situation and you're not sure how it's going to go, you're presenting your ideas for the first time, let's say, you can think of it as a protractor, as a 0-degree thought and a 180-degree thought. 0-degree thought, we tend to think of the most negative things that could happen, like everyone's going to hate it, you're going to not be in meetings anymore, that sort of thing. You can think of the 180-degree thought, which is like the most amazing thing. You said it, confetti fell from the ceiling, everyone clapped. The reality is that something is going to happen somewhere in between. So it helps put things in perspective of it's not going to go super negative, and it's not going to go crazy positive that's unrealistic. It's somewhere in between. So that that visual has really helped me whenever I've presented ideas. And if in the event that I do present an idea and something doesn't go well, or someone says something that you think your ideas are being attacked and that sort of thing, the other visual I think of is the concept of the pen and the journal. Someone may say things, but that is their opinion and that's their perspective. It's nothing to be said about you or your capabilities or your competence or your credibility. Don't give the other person the pen to your journal and your story. So that's what I wanted to say on those things.
Love it. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing. So, Giselle, obviously you're a woman. What do you need and want at work?
I value allyship in terms of working with men in a male clustered environment. So more specifically, I value allyship in if I'm in an environment where if someone's interrupting intentionally, unintentionally, someone to say, "Hey, look, this person's still speaking. Let's give them a chance." Or if someone's trying to, or not trying to, but if someone unintentionally repeats an idea that maybe I've said, like that ally would then say, "Well, let's expand upon what I've said here," that sort of thing. So I appreciate that at work, and then sometimes people don't realize that happens, but it does. So bringing that up and bringing awareness to it, I appreciate allyship at work from the men that I work with.
Awesome. Thank you for
Yeah, I
sharing.
like
That
that.
is wonderful too. I mean, we
Mhm.
do need allies. And honestly, Angela and I probably wouldn't be here today if we didn't have our own allies, right? Or
Exactly.
Giselle, or, we have had allies that have said, hey, listen to what she said because she knew what she was talking about. Or, hey, that's not appropriate. Or, hey, let's give her an opportunity because she's brought a lot to the table. I think that we need more of that, obviously, but it's been wonderful that I've had that opportunity.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
have too.
so let's hear from Jeff. Let's hear what Jeff's got to say today.
Good. Did I get unmuted properly?
Yes, you're good.
Good. Well, I was hesitant to jump in since I'm an old construction gray-haired old dog.
We
Uh,
love it.
my friend Adam Hoots is on this, and he will
Is he
confirm
on?
that he will confirm that I ramble on a bit. I've been in the construction industry. I grew up in it. I've been in ditches and dirt for 65 years as my father's indentured servant. So, and those kind of things. And what I've found is over the years, the industry has changed, and those people that are in the industry that won't accept uh, the concept or the reality that women belong in this industry. Those are simply the people, though it can be economically difficult, simply that you should walk away from. Um, the My experience is this: I've been in the industry in a variety of different ways, from in the field, in the office, a variety. I have never met a qualified woman that is to do the job that is less qualified than a guy to do the job. Am I making any sense there? Or am I
Yay! I wish I had a clapping program.
So in fact, here I'm in Arizona. It's hot here in Arizona, by the way, and it's also still morning. So, is that in wire off situations with independent electrical contractors, the last 2 or 3 years, women have won the wire off simply because they were better than their men counterparts.
Thank
Now,
you.
it shouldn't really be a contest in construction, correct?
Agree.
It shouldn't
Right.
be that,
Yep.
It is, and Adam knows this. I rant this term, construction science technology professionals. That's what we are. Science being the old word, to know, technology being a newer word, meaning to build. That's what we do. Whether a woman in the industry or a man in the industry. It's no longer the brute physical strength of some giant dude, lifting a steel beam because there's no crane around. It's not like that. The technology is here. So
Awesome.
what I encourage you all to do. Look, in the late 60s and the 70s, from time to time, guys with long hair would mysteriously fall off a high-rise building. So there's always that weirdness that has been in the industry. But we are no longer a fat-thumbed, dirty t-shirt, size 12 boots, size 4 hat industry. We are
Right.
building the future, and we need 50% of the population to be part of it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
In Arizona, we have the Taiwanese chip plant here that currently has over 900 people working on it. And by the time it's fully engaged, the construction there could be up to 20,000 construction science technology professionals on that job.
Nice.
There simply aren't enough men that know enough to do that, and we need the women in those positions.
There's a lot of projects out there right now like that, Jeff. Thank you for
In
sharing.
the field, we need the women in the field.
Yes, agreed.
We need them do as plumbers. We need them as electricians. We need them as steam fitters. We need them as equipment operators. We need all of that.
Right.
So if you run into somebody that is not giving you that opportunity, just don't shut that door. Just find somebody that does.
Yes. Great insight, Jeff. I'm going to have to move you to listening. We got way more people wanting to
Sorry about
talk.
that.
No, thank you so much for your insights. We really appreciate you. All right. So Natasha's finally on with us. Natasha. Oh, what'd I do? Lost her again.
Yeah, I think she's having difficulties, but we can keep.
Okay. How about Kayleen? Hey, Kayleen. Do you want to tell us what women
Sorry.
need? Hi.
Sorry, I found the unmute button.
It is a little challenge. We had to test it last week.
So thank you for having me on. My name is Colleen West. I'm a North Carolina real estate broker, interior designer, and construction consultant. So I have a little bit of different areas in the construction industry. And what I have found is, in my experience, because I've dealt for so many years on the soft, beautiful, design side of it, and then the rough and gruff in the mud construction side. And I think I love what everybody has been saying about coming to the table with information and having a thick skin. Those are all so important, and I have found that I've needed to do that in my experience. At the same time, I've learned a lot about myself because I wanted so much to prove that I could do everything that a guy can do, or I can come to the table with just as much information. However, I have felt that I've learned so much from men in the industry. They have taught me so much. So I value everything that they have taught me. I've learned to interact with them. At so many instances, I felt intimidated, or like I shouldn't be aggressive or speak my turn. So I would sometimes muster up the nerve to do it, and then I would kind of blurt things out. And I thought, you know what, I really need to come at this with balance. I shouldn't be ashamed that I am a woman, and I am soft, and I am empathetic, and all of these good qualities I think help my clients because of my qualities as a
Absolutely.
woman. I do, my empathy and my womanhood does help. Do I want to be just like the boys? No, because I'm proud to be a woman, and I value everything that a man brings to the table as well. But having a thick skin, 100%, not taking it personal, absolutely. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to be soft. But we need to arm ourselves with information, education, which I think is so important. And every time I go onto a job site, I'm constantly asking 1,000,001 questions. I'm the annoying little kid, but I'm asking the well driller. I'm asking the framers. Why is this here? Why is this? Why did you do this? Oh, okay, good.
I love that.
But I think it's important we don't have to know everything. We don't have to act like we know everything, but not be afraid as well to share the information that we do know and speak up and not be afraid. So I think it's such a delicate balance of not being afraid getting rid of fear, arming ourselves with knowledge, embracing the qualities we do have as a woman, and just doing that dance,
So,
figuring out.
yeah. So what do you want? Is there anything at work that you would like to see change because it would make it better or easier for more women to advance in the workforce and the trades in our industry?
Yeah, I think dialogue, I think what you're doing right now is so important and so key, and having men on here so that we can speak to each other, because we are in such a fast-paced industry that we are just go, 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 and we're just grabbing at the heels of things that we're doing.
Yeah.
Taking a few minutes to sit and speak to each other and to listen to each other and to see what we can glean. So I think roundtable discussions, events, networking events where we can discuss with each other and hear each other, I think is so important.
Thank you, Kayleen, so much for being on today. We appreciate your wisdom. Hey, hey, Natasha.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can.
Thank goodness. Sorry, I am so technologically like I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to tech.
No, you aren't.
It is not my thing. As far as what women want, it really boils down to women want an opportunity, and they want respect while doing that opportunity. That is one of those things where I feel like so many opportunities have been withheld from women throughout, several decades in this industry for no reason other than the fact that they are women. Those barriers are starting to fall off. I do really want to push back a little bit on the fact that, women are so emotional, because I hear that all the time. I have never met anyone more emotional than a subcontractor that's not getting his way on a job site.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's a good one.
Sorry, I had to laugh out loud.
It's one of those things. Men have emotions too. Men show their emotions. Men have no problems on a job site screaming, kicking things, throwing things. They pitch little temper tantrums. I've seen it over and over again. I think that women need to own what we bring to the table, because we are different than men, but we are just as good, if not better, especially in different, not necessarily types of tasks, but just in the way that we do things. And I think that women, for the most part, are more detail oriented. This is an industry where details matter.
Yes.
It is one of those things that, everybody has a different set of skills and different strengths. But I really push back when somebody, tells me that I'm acting emotionally or something like that, because I have watched the temper tantrums on job sites over and over again.
We are all guilty of temper tantrums, right? Every single one of us.
Exactly.
Yes,
it
right.
It's one of these, the biggest thing is that women show their emotions a little differently than men. Men can react to anger a lot easier than they can to sadness or hurt. It's just kind of been my experience. So, and it's interesting, because if I get angry at something, the reaction I get is very different than my business partner, who is a man, gets when he gets angry. I think that the best way to solve some of this is exactly what you guys have been doing, is just shedding light on this, bringing it to the forefront, letting kind of the industry as a whole know that not only are women here doing these jobs, but we need more women in these positions.
Yes.
We need more women from top to bottom in the construction industry.
Agreed.
And the only way the construction industry is going to continue to grow is to adequately engage women on all sides.
Yeah, I agree. Yay. Thank you, Natasha,
Thank
so
you,
much for joining
Natasha.
us.
Yes.
You're welcome. Sorry for the super fun tech.
No, that's all good. It's all good. So, Stacy, you're up.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. So I have a little bit of a different story. I'm currently a co-founder for a company open to suggestion offering integrative business coaching. I was in the construction industry for operations for almost 30 years, and the pandemic broke me. I have a child of elementary school age who is of special needs. He has a physical disability and a neurodevelopment disability. And I had a company that was extremely accommodating for me, even as a project executive. However, the challenge became is that the tug of war of the needs that were being pulled at me to be there for my son and to be there for my teams was very challenging. I chose to step away from the operations side because I basically was just burnt out. Construction, I think, is a 24-hour gig. We are on call all the time, and my son also needed me on call all the time. What I think people, not just women, because I think men would appreciate this too, is that we just need a little bit more boundaries on the expectations of us being on call 24 hours a day. I would love nothing more than to be able to serve both, but it just was very challenging. And I left not because I was pushed; they were very accommodating, but more because there wasn't enough hours in the day to be great at all the things. I could be good at all, but only great at one at a time. So
thank you for sharing,
Yes,
Stacey.
thank you.
it's just something that I think that technology has over the years really kind of created this expectation that we have to be available all the time. And that can be just very challenging. So I think for women who are parents or are caretakers of any sort, that there's a real challenge there, and that if I were to say what do women need, or I think people need, or parents need, or caretakers need, is we need boundaries on kind of those expectations of availability running 24 hours a day.
Love it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Stacey.
Hey, Christy, I want to say something that, Stacy, earlier in my career when I was working in my family business, I was lucky enough to be in my family business because my son was born and had 3 strokes. So he had, of course, we had this whole special needs thing. But I was supported all through that. I mean, I could do things that were just, and I probably gave even more of myself to the family business. I think that you're exactly right. We need to look at how we support those with different kinds of needs, and they will give you tenfold back. So we're here for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I am, missing the connection of being involved, and he is getting older and more independent, my son. It's just, so it's just trying to figure out, I want to enter back in potentially, but in a way that I can do my job in an effective way without feeling that I have to be on call at 2:00 in the morning when there's a night shift.
Nice. Thank you. So, Kim, you're next.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for
Kim.
being on.
You both know that I adore you both, and thank you for all that you do. It's funny because I think I'm sitting here and I'm listening to everybody's story, right? Everybody has a story and what they're looking for at work. And one of the things that I always, and I believe this for men and women, we all want to be respected, valued, appreciated, and realize that we're all different. Everybody is different. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody can bring something to the table, as Natasha said. And I really believe we're all an asset. And I think if we, instead of fighting each other all the time and really looking and seeing the other person's perspective and look at their strengths and weaknesses and, use their strengths to, to bring value to the company. I'll give you one example. When she had said that, she saw a subcontractor throw a fit. I'm pretty new to the construction industry, but I've seen many subcontractors throw fits, and I would just jump in, and I knew I was confident in my strength that I could somehow resolve that situation. And I told, the guys I was working with, I said, okay, there's no need for this. Let me kind of intervene. You guys cool down. Let's see what we can work out. And yeah, I mean, it took them a little bit of time. They kind of looked at me like, oh, who does Kim think she is? But afterwards, I had a conversation with them, and I would talk to them. I said, listen, this is a strength of mine. I said, if you get aggravated or you can't resolve this situation, let me see what I can do. I know it's a strength of mine. So I believe in the confidence, have confidence in what your strengths are, who you are, and bring it to the table. But we definitely have to have that respect, and feel valued and appreciated and realized we're just all different.
Thank you, Kim. And it takes
Yeah.
all of our perspectives, right, to make like a beautiful outcome. It takes all of the perspectives, not just mine, not just yours, not just a man's, not it takes all of us, our perspectives. We all have different ones, and they're all unique and lovely. So bringing those all together create the best synergies of work, environments, teams, leadership, and just the outcome of the revenue from the job, the way a job rolls, the way a job finishes, and how it completes on time. It takes all of us and our perspectives to be known to be able to do that well. Thanks so much for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Cody.
Hi, Christine. Hi, Angela. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Yes.
It's nice to meet you both online.
Nice to meet you too. Well, kind
Yeah,
of
nice
like
to meet you.
e-meet, audio meet, whatever this is.
Audio meet, yes. I just thought I would throw in 2 cents on something that I speak about to women in the construction industry across the country for many, many, many years. I've personally mentored hundreds of women in the construction management industry. And I wanted to share something that I was hoping might be perceived as a little bit of good news on the topic of what women want or need at work. I think it's really important to recognize that when there is holding back or discrimination or deferential treatment towards people in the construction industry, I'm thinking it has a lot less to do about being a woman than you think. So here's my 2 cents on what I've kind of gathered by watching how I was treated and watching how other people are treated for 30 years in the industry. I think that the industry it's not so much that the industry is discriminating against women. I think it discriminates against 3 things very heavily. So when you are one of these 3 things and a woman might mistakenly think it's because you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really one of these other 3 things that are really, really prevalent in the industry. But these discriminations are healthy, good. So I want to share the 3 things in hopes of kind of inspiring everyone to realize that it's good news, because these are 3 things that you have control over, that you can work on, that you can change. So the first thing that the industry tends to discriminate against is youth. It's just simply an industry where nothing can replace long-term exposure to the field. So nothing can replace that. Like, it just can't be learned in school. I hold a degree in construction management or whatever that works. But nothing can be learned in school. Nothing can be learned in compressed situations in a classroom style. There's just no replacement for being able to say, I worked on this project, then I worked on this project, then I worked on this project till you hit, 15 or 20 of them. So that just comes with the age. So part of the quote unquote good old boy network is the old part of that phrase. Okay, and it's there for good reason. It really does simply take time to become respected in the industry. So some discrimination that comes at us is simply, it's the same that comes at anyone, man or woman, is you're just young and green. The second, but that will again change over time. The second thing that our industry is very prejudiced against is outsiders and fakers. So if you do not come from the construction industry, literally, like if you don't come with your own set of project portfolio and experience
and legitimate credentials, and you legitimately know how to build a building and participate in the process because you've been a field engineer, because you've been an assistant superintendent, because you've been a project manager, because you've been a superintendent, because you've been an estimator, because you've been a pre-con manager, because you had all these common roles. When you don't have that experience, you're going to be judged for it. But again, that's not being a woman, that's being inexperienced. So over time, when you get more and more experience because you diligently pursue it, and if you need help along the way with that kind of guidance, you can direct message me and I will talk to you and I will help you and I will mentor you, and there are other people who will mentor you. But I just want you to know that when people are being discriminated against in the industry for lack of experience, that is legitimate, no matter what your gender is. Our industry needs people who know what the hell they're doing, regardless of their gender. There are millions and millions and millions of dollars at stake. It's extraordinarily dangerous. It's extraordinarily stressful. And we need people running projects that know what they're doing. So the other people that are on the job site that do know what they're doing are understandably frustrated when other people show up and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that kind of discrimination, if you will, I'm just using that
Yeah.
word. I know it's a loaded word, but
It is a
that kind
loaded
of
word.
frustration that lands on people, that's not landing on you because you are a woman. In some cases, that is landing on you because you are an outsider or you don't yet have enough experience.
So,
Hey, Cody,
Virginia,
can we get to the third one?
I was
Can you
gonna
share that
say,
so that we
Yeah.
can, we
well-
want to move along.
well,
We're
wait a
trying to get
minute.
some others on stage.
wait a minute, Virginia,
Okay,
actually,
and the third thing is the industry has difficulty with passive personalities. So, men or women, if you are passive, that is going to be a difficulty for you. But if you can work on raising your level of assertiveness without needing help, without needing allyship from other people, be your own best ally,
right?
stand up for yourself, then it's the reduction in passivity and the increase in assertiveness that helps people no matter what their gender are. So I think those three things cause a lot more difficulty in the industry than if you're a man versus a woman.
Thank you, Cody, for your insight. I think Virginia has
Yeah.
something to add to that too.
I do. Those were great. Cody, thank you so much for that. I am definitely in a male-dominated industry, being in wastewater, and it's just hard to get experience there. But I would like to just challenge us that the industry is, we have a couple of different things. The construction industry itself was one where waste was tolerated, right? Everybody knows that this was a wasteful industry. There's not a lot in it that not a lot of technology in it that helps us to better manage projects. It just was, accepted. And I think that women as thinkers can bring a lot to that as an industry. The other thing is the industry, the folks that were in the industry, they're all dying out. There is a shortage. There's a real shortage
Real
of
life,
people, skills, trades people that are out there. We've got to do something different.
right?
And maybe those thoughts of they haven't been in the industry before, they need experience, then we better do something to give them
Exactly.
experience, or else we won't have anybody left to build anything.
Mentorship,
we
right?
Right. We've got to look at some things differently than we did before, because we're going to be a dying industry. There won't be anyone left to do it the way it used to be done before.
Thank you, Virginia. Really
Yeah, that's
appreciate
so
that.
important. I mean, both of our companies do a lot of mentorship, right, Christy?
Yes.
I mean, that's so important.
Yes. And Audrey just got on. Audrey, we'd
Yes,
love to hear what you have to say. Will you raise your
Yeah.
hand so we can bring you on the stage? There she is. Okay. I'd love to hear what she's got to say too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Audrey.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I didn't know you could do audio through this, so this is like so groovy.
Yeah, we
Thank
just
you.
learned the hard way.
I think we all totally agree. I think Virginia is rock star, right on
Yes.
target. The wonderful thing about this collective and not only men and women coming to the table, but just really knowing that we've got to expand in all areas of construction. And I think having a voice, having these discussions, bringing this to the forefront. I was just talking to another gentleman out of Baltimore, Maryland today that has a factory. And one of the biggest things that he talked about was company culture. And I'm also very excited. I'm setting an appointment with one of the executive assistants to the owner at Autoval, which many of you may not have heard, but it's a factory it's a modular factory that's in Boise, Idaho. And they have 60,000 robotic equipment in that factory, and they have 200 workers. And the interesting thing about it is we talk about robotics and we talk about, on-site construction or off-site construction and the people that are inside of it. But it's those 200 people that they keep cheering on and keep creating these programs and culture that make such a difference. So, kudos to everybody here, and, thank you for allowing me to just voice that little bit of opinion. I think we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Audrey. We love you and what you're trying to do, and just your support of women all around, men and women. In the manufacturing sector, it's much needed. It's the same industry. We just call it something different, right? Industrial
Absolutely.
manufacturing and construction. I don't know why we segregate. I think the silos need to be gone, and we need to work on our workforce as a collective and not just one industry. Thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, thank you, ladies. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share what women need and want at work? Or, we got a few men on here. Is there something that we can, maybe our wonderful women audience could help you understand if there's something that you have a question about that your organization might run better if you were to understand something? Oh, we have somebody else ready to talk. Heather.
Hey, I know
Hey.
Giselle on here earlier, we're schoolmates, but I think she actually ended up leaving a little bit ago. But the biggest thing that I struggle with, me being in the field as a pipe fitter, and I'm also in the office because I wouldn't say I'm a gal Friday, but my company definitely utilizes me on both aspects. So office, field,
Nice.
warehouse, you name it, I've done it all. But the biggest issue that I run into is my support in the office role. So not necessarily just like with the field guys, I'm an equal. Like I go out there,
Nice.
you don't treat me any differently, which is actually, it's a rarity. Other contractors I've been with, so with this one, I've just been really, really lucky, and everybody, it's not, oh, she can't do that, she can do this, blah, blah, blah. It's, we're going to suffer through this together, which is always nice, because you have mutual
Yeah,
support.
for sure.
But I actually struggle with getting fair support in the office versus the men. So I'm in sales. I'm the only girl in sales in our company, mind you, we're not huge, but that is what I struggle with, like with customers and stuff like that. They tend to send me to more things because I have a nice face, which, I mean, you say that, I say tongue in cheek, because I'm a pretty generic looking human, but I'm the only girl. So I'm trying to break that barrier because I am actually really intelligent. I mean, I went to trade school, so when I'm selling something, I actually know what I'm selling because I've done it. I've suffered through it. I've gone through all the pain of fixing things. But the biggest thing that's frustrating right now is the support on like more of the admin office type side. I don't have a lot of issues with field, thankfully here, but I know it's across the board. It's way different on every construction site. But I've been in this for about 15 years, so.
Nice, Heather. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
That pipe fitter role is tough too, from what I understand. I used to work at a refinery and worked with a lot of pipe fitters, and you got to be a rock star.
You got to be a rock star. It's a different breed of people, let me tell you.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Do we have any others that want to come up and talk? We have like 9 minutes left.
Maybe we should just call people out.
Well, I see a few.
I'd love to hear from Shauna and Tommy, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
been following Shauna on LinkedIn. She's doing some great things in the industry. And Tommy.
There's Monica's on there.
Oh, yeah,
too.
Monica's on here too. So
Yeah.
we're just nudging you
Start
if you want
calling
to talk.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then there's Henry too.
Yeah. Henry's on. Oh, yeah, I saw him too. They're little faces on here, so it's hard to see them.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Shauna's going to talk.
Yay.
Hey, Shauna.
Hi. So I really just came here to learn today because I am not from the construction industry. I'm from the recruiting and hiring industry, and over the last several years, I've brought that particular area of expertise into the construction industry.
Nice.
And I'm here to learn more about the industry from all perspectives.
Awesome. I mean, that is so good. I mean, you're better at what you do if you learn everything from everybody's perspective. I love that concept.
Yeah, so, in hiring and retention, it's all about, culture, right? Creating a great culture of belonging for everyone. So, for me to be able to hear from you guys and others that are from the industry, it helps me, better understand how to kind of position.
Yeah. Or help people get into our industry that are interested in it, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I didn't want to ignore the nudge.
No, thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. We want everybody to talk. Yeah, that's what it's for, so we can, share our perspectives and help each other and support each other.
Yeah, thanks for putting this together. It's been informative.
Well, we hope to have more of these, so.
Thank you. All right, Tommy, are you going to talk to us today? Oh, we got 2 more people. Audrey's getting on again.
Cool.
So I'm just curious, obviously we have a forum of people here. What are they seeing or what are they doing in their companies to get support, or what are they seeing that are the positive influences? Because I think if we can discuss those and get those ideas, those are things that we can share with management or individuals on the team. So I'd love to hear if anybody's got some good suggestions or things that they're really proud of at their company that they're doing. Please, let's hear it, because I think those are the things that we need to empower more people with and learn from.
Thank you, Audrey. Love that. Collaboration, right? Farah could probably answer that, and she's up. WM Jordan does an excellent job of valuing the women that they have in the field. Farah, are you with us? Oh, she must be having technical difficulty. I've got to add her back in. There we go. Farah, can you hear us okay? No, she must be having the same trouble Natasha did. Does anybody else have some positive things that they want to share about what's going on?
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yay.
Yes, I did it. And I'm not very technical when it comes to technology. But I just want to say hello. This is really awesome. I have been really getting out there more to network and build relationships, because that is a big part of culture and what I do. Thank you so much for saying those wonderful words when it comes to WM Jordan. I can definitely say that they are everything that they've really put out to be in their work within the company. And personally, I'll say that because 6 months after I started, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. So I was too young to be diagnosed with breast cancer, but too old to have a baby. That's what the doctor told me. So, because I had a baby when I found it, but I have been there 6 months. I have 15 years of experience working in the construction field, but my experience is different. I worked for a family owned. We were minority, and so that had different barriers in itself back in the early 2000s. And I was in college, and I would see WM Jordan, and I would go up there with my father and my mom, and just listening, just sitting in, and there was a lady, I don't know if some know, a lady named Sharon Reinhardt. She's actually my mentor. So I started there because of Sharon, and it was like, hey, she's about to transition. I started, and within my field, when it comes with supply and diversity, they think that some connected to human resources completely, but it's just about bridging the gap between the opportunities and the benefits, and understanding why there are certain trades or certain ethnics saying this is a barrier. So everything is not unheard. And it does take some time, but it takes a lot of assertiveness. I'm very persistent, but I do it with a smile. I love being a woman. I love wearing my bright red lipstick and my bright pink hard hat going on the site. I just feel that W.M. Jordan has made it a point for ones to feel comfortable to come in as they are, whether you have the tattoos, whether you have the designs on your nails. They've made it acceptable to come as you are, because it is about the experience. It is about the teamwork, the communication, the assertiveness, because yes, in the construction field, almost any field, when it comes to what you say is what you say, so you have to do what you say or communicate if it's something different. But it's just a lot of different personalities that you just have to know, and you can create yourself to become a chameleon to deal with anybody, whether it's a white male, Asian male, a black female, a black male. I have experienced different things different ways as a woman than as a black woman, but I still bleed red just like everyone else. I still sweat when I get hot. There are just certain things that I just tend to overlook because I have seen issues from a very early age, and I've just always wanted that opportunity just to be believed in, given that opportunity. And now that I have a platform, I'm really have been reminded that this is a part of my purpose, connecting. I've always said I'm a connector. So it's a lot of different things that we talk about, whether black, brown, white, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants that opportunity.
Right.
So we're here to help out directly and indirectly. Everybody's not going to get subcontract with us, but we do have the point to where we talk with everybody equally. And I've heard them say, oh, you're the face of the company because of my role. And then I was like, me? What? But it's an honor to see that. And when you have the higher execs that look at you equally.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's the energy. There was somebody that said it earlier, the confidence. Confidence is key. And long as you're not cocky, it's just you stand by your word. And in the construction world, it's a process, or there are regulations, there are rules that you have to follow. It's a certain process.
Right.
It's just like mathematics. You have different ways to get to the answer one, but it has to be the correct answer. So
thank you,
I just
Farrah.
really love this platform, and I have been clicking on everybody's name and hitting the follow button because
nice.
That's awesome.
to connect with you all, and
awesome.
please reach out to me. I'm always wanting constructive criticism. I'm always wanting to connect. So thank you for this. This is absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Farrah. We also embrace constructive criticism because all we want to do is make our industry better. So love that.
Oh yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap it up right now, Christy, right?
Yeah.
We're at the mark.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap it up, but we want anyone who's left on here, please come join our breakingbarriersforum.com, because we're gonna load some information from this episode on there about just a little, the things that we've heard. And then, of course, we'll probably share it on social. But we'll start to have more of these, and we're even going to try and eventually move into some live ones where we're actually seeing each other on
video.
YouTube. But
yes.
Yeah, video.
We're a little nervous about that. We have to step out of our fear for that one, but we're excited about it too.
Yeah, and maybe our next one like this, the audio, we can definitely address more responses that Audrey, brought up about what we are seeing. There are great things that are happening out there because, yeah, other people want to get that message too out there, right? And learn.
Yes, I love that. I
So,
love the positive energy that brings too,
yes,
and the ideas and the sparks flying. Love it.
right. We're all people, right?
Yeah.
And just be kind to all. So, thank you, everyone. We all love you. Big hug.
Yes.
Christy, you want to say anything?
No, just thank you for sharing and being here and supporting each other. That's why we get up and do what we do every day while we work a full-time job. So
Yeah.
we
full
love
time.
y'all. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Bye.